He's won 3 Grammys, an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and an Oscar. He is right now he's out with a book about his journey to wellness and self-love. It's called And Then We Rise. And your title is on the money.
Yes.
And it, of course, rings of a name we both love, Maya Angelou.
Yes.
Why did you choose that title, and what does that mean?
Well, Dr. Maya Angelou has been a heavy influence on me, one of my greatest inspirations. And her poem, Still I Rise, always affected me. So when I was thinking of a title for this book, I was thinking about self-care and self-love as being a community thing, too. Because, like, when you take care of yourself and reach your highest level, you're actually elevating your community, your family, and the world, essentially, by just being in your own power and your own light and your own joy. So I looked at it as more of a movement and not just being just only for me, even though it's about self-love.
And I know that all of this came to you, like, I mean, people might think, well, Common's known this forever, but COVID was really helpful in reprioritizing how you take care of yourself.
Yes. Well, let me be clear. I'm from the south side of Chicago. I didn't start off knowing what vegetarian was or mindfulness. I hadn't been introduced to any of those things. But as my journey went on in life and I was blessed to travel, I gathered things from different teachers, and I use these teachers. I have these teachers in my book so that they can, so that I can share the things that I've experienced. I'm always about bringing back information and resources and tools. And for me, like, eating healthier, I noticed the difference in how clear I was.
Yeah.
Or just having a therapist, I noticed how I got better in my own relationships and just dealing with my family members just by therapy.
How did you get better? Like, what were you like before in relationships, and how are you today?
Well, I think I got better because certain things that I would do in relationships were based on childhood experiences, and I wasn't being totally present in the relationship. I would carry things that had affected me before and would project that on to the person. Once you start recognizing that and just have understand, like, I need to be present and and you're conscious of that, you can step back and say, hey, let me assess this and really be true and honest with what this relationship is, and not bring my garbage, my baggage. So that was one of the ways, and even not just only in romantic relationships, but like, I had to be able to set boundaries for loved ones. You know, like, I have an incredible mother, powerful mother, but sometimes you got to be able to tell your mom, no, I need to do this. You know, like, this is what
That's hard to do.
That is really hard to do.
It's hard to do. Just setting boundaries for loved ones is hard. And boundaries for yourself. You know, that's what the self-love is like.
They're loving boundaries. That's what they are.
Yes,
they really are.
It's love.
And they make all relationships better. Okay. Well, you went viral overnight.
You know? Oh, yeah.
Did you not? Did you pick up the internet this morning?
I didn't. Well, look. My mornings start with, like, my own
Meditation.
mindfulness and prayer. So I try not to pick up the phone as soon as I get there.
Okay.
Well, we have to show you.
Yeah.
We have to show you because you haven't seen it yet. So here it is.
Are you dating anyone?
This was so
So, yes, and I'm in a relationship that is with one of the most beautiful people I ever met in life. And I set my standard kind of high because she had to have an EGOT. She had to win an Oscar on her first movie. I set my standard high. She had to get her own talk show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Whoa, okay, so we kind of cemented that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we had a little fun, and it was great to be on the Jennifer Hudson Show. And, you know, I felt like, man, why not just be loving and honest with who I am and who we are? And it felt good. It was fun. We had a good time. We didn't want to. I'm a person that is very, like, private. I know things that are sacred, so any relationships I have is not, like, for public consumption. But at the end of the day, we were on our show. We had a good time. We had fun. You know.
But you're a different person today than you were in previous relationships. We all are. You're different. You're bringing something different to this relationship. Are you the marrying type? Do you think this one could be the one?
we're going there.
I like that in you. I like that.
You're different.
Yeah.
You just said it. You're like, I'm a different guy now.
Listen, I feel like I have grown, and the work that I've done on myself has allowed me to see that I am a marrying type. I am the type that I'm capable. I had a capacity, and I, you know, at some point in my life, I may want to do that. I would know when the right time is. And I think for me, everything is divine. Like I work from that discernment that God speaks, you know, when he speaks into your stomach and you feel it in your heart and your spirit. So, you know, when I would feel that, I would communicate with that person, and if she's feeling that, then that would be
why not?
Then why not? Yeah.
You know, one of the things you talk about, which I think is such a nuanced thing in the book, is about the difference between bragging and owning your power.
Yeah.
And you learned it from, I love it, because it's like we're all taught not to brag, right?
Right.
Not to show off.
Yeah.
But you do have to own who you are.
Oh, yeah. Well, I grew up, my mom's is like, don't get too big-headed, you know, like, and so with my friends, I understand the humility, you know, you never want to feel like you're better than someone else. But I was fortunate to do I was on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and Jamie Foxx I was on there performing with him, and we had the opportunity to be backstage with Oprah. And at that time, she was just about to get into her house in Santa Barbara, and she was showing us her home. And she was doing it with so much joy and love, and I didn't feel at all that she was bragging.
Yeah.
And it was like, for me to observe that and watch this powerful person who has a lot, just be in that joy and just know that she's earned it and share her joy with us, I was like, wow, you can be like, embrace your greatness or embrace some of the things you do without it feeling like, oh, I'm better than you on attention. So I felt Oprah was a good instructor and teacher when it came to that, and that was just by example. She wasn't like, let me show you.
Can we brag on you then?
Yes.
For a minute. You have a school in Chicago that you opened. It's near and dear to your heart. It's near and dear to your causes.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
It's so near and dear because it's less than 2 miles from where I grew up in Chicago.
Amazing.
And it's called AIM, Art in Motion. And what I've learned is like arts are ways for us to express ourselves, to learn about ourselves. It taps into different things, emotions like anxiety and depression. When you express yourself through art, it's a great way to release things.
Yeah.
So our school is based on academics, but it also has the art component to it. And we also, speaking of meditation and mindfulness, we have a peace room. So if the kids get in trouble and they, instead of going to detention, they go to the peace room.
Oh, that's cool.
And so this for me is another way of bringing things that I've been exposed to back to my community.
Yes.
And this school is thriving. It's so amazing.
Wow.
It's one of the greatest things that I've ever been a part of. So
I want to go visit.
Y'all gotta come through for a visit.
Sounds cool.
That is just
AIM,
so
I like that.
incredible.
Art in motion.
How
Art in motion,
amazing.
yes.
Love it.
Carmen, stay right there, because we're going to see if we can get Carmen to show some of his workout moves. Spider-Man push-up?
What is that?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Well,
right after this.
I'll break it down.
It's so cool.
We're back with actor and rapper Common, who's out with a new book. It's called And Then We Rise.
Yeah, it's a guide to help improve our minds and bodies. So we wanted to get some of his top tips in a segment we're calling Common Sense. We love those kinds.
I love it.
Okay, so you write all about how your relationship with food, the more you learned, the more it's changed.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's funny, my relationship with food, I didn't even become aware until some hip-hop artists started talking about vegetarianism, and I was like, what is that?
What were you eating before?
I mean, I grew up eating everything, barbecue, fried chicken. There's things, you know, that you get in the neighborhoods. But it was hip-hop that kind of brought a consciousness to what eating was about in a cool way.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So you start each day like this?
With a shot.
Yeah, with a shot.
Turmeric?
Turmeric is good. It's good for inflammation.
It give you? Oh,
it's good to make sure, you know, to bring down inflammation.
Okay.
It's good for your blood, too. It's really, it's
Should we
good
do it?
for you.
Are we drinking now?
we got to get to it. Come on.
Do you drink that much? Common, this looks like a lot. It looks like, he says about a half of this.
It is.
This is a jumbo.
Okay.
Does it taste yucky?
Let's
no,
toast.
it doesn't taste bad, does
it? Taste
Cheers.
It don't taste bad. It's got,
see how it looks in the eye?
You can do it.
Yeah, I like it.
Ready? One, two, bye.
That's good.
You don't like it? That is not tasty.
It's good for you. It's good for you.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
That's what you like.
Sorry.
At a certain point. Okay.
Oh, that's all right. We don't need to.
At a certain point, you got some of the things you take, they're not going to taste
good.
all
But
the
they
time.
make you feel good.
So you do one shot in the
practice.
morning.
One shot
That's
in the
part of your morning.
Yeah.
See, I can tell. All right. Since we're talking about taking care of ourselves and being loving, describe your ultimate date night.
My ultimate date night. Well, I definitely like to go to do something. I like regular things like movies, but I guess my ultimate date night would be to go with someone I love and enjoy, to go riding in the car and like we looking at the ocean a little bit. And then we got a dinner reservation that's at a place that we both love. And then we can go back home and just, we kind of like watch a little basketball. She like basketball too. That's a fun day.
I like it.
I'm in.
By the way, that does sound like fun.
Okay, so your fitness routine, we talked about this in the tease. You like a Spider-Man push-up?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I do just, you know, as one of the things that is part of my fitness routine, yeah.
What is that?
What's on your fingertips?
Yeah, well, I mean, nah, but it's like, okay.
Oh, I like that we put on some music.
Yeah, we got some music. So it's you putting your knee to your elbow when you push up.
Oh my God! Yeah. Ouch. No.
Wait, what is happening? No, there is no way.
Let's do it. Let's go, y'all.
Get back
Let's
up.
Go.
No.
Common.
Hey, bust it out.
Common, you're in good shape.
Let's get it.
That's already 10. You can come in.
All right. Hey, y'all got me going, man.
Unbelievable. Common. Wow. That was good. You can check out Common's book.
Common.
And then we rise at today.com.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful book.
Thank you, Common.
It's a good one.
Thank you for having me.